Sensei Beats.
We have it in while we're doing this is what it records, right?
Yeah. You have it like, so you have it like 3, or how did you?
I have all three of us up at the same time. Yeah,
same.
Okay.
I had it in speaker view before, so I only saw like whoever spoke.
Yeah, same. I think it looks better when we're all there.
Yeah. That's what mine is. Okay. All right. I guess
are you using a different mic this time? It sounds like 100 times more cool.
Yeah, I'm using a different mic.
How do I sound?
You sound great too.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. All right. So you ready?
Let's do this.
All right, let's do this.
I can't record.
Please request. Oh, I need the permission first.
Oh, I gotta get permission. Yeah. I gotta allow you guys to do it forever. All right. Allow record and allow record. All right.
All right. Now we're going.
You're rolling now.
Oh yeah.
All right. Recording. I guess I'm starting off this podcast. This is Veg Senpai here, and I got my 2 friends here to watch B&A, which they both greatly enjoyed. We have their little own anime homework assignments to do each week and watch new anime. And both of them gave me very good feedback on this show, and I thought they'd really like it, and I'm glad they did. So Connor, what do you want to say about it?
I gotta say, I mean, I'm still like very new to watching kind of like furry based animes, and it really wasn't what I expected at all. Like, I don't really know. I didn't really have any like kind of expectations when I went to it. And I went in just like open to whatever was going to happen. And like, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like it was, I hope that there's going to be more. I don't know if they're planning on a second season. I haven't really searched into that at all, but it was, I don't even know what to rate it. I think I'd give it probably like an 8.5 out of 10, honestly.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, but I mean, I think that B-Stars was a little better in my opinion, but they're kind of different.
Yeah, different. I think B-Stars definitely was better for plot. I think B&A was better for action, but plot
for sure
goes to B-Stars.
Yeah, there's a lot more action than I was expecting.
Oh yeah, and the action's cool. It feels like a comic book. Like the art style flows very well.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I took from it. Like my first 2 like connections I made at the beginning was like it reminded me almost of like Dark Knight or kind of like John Wick, where like
I made a meme about that.
Right. What is his name? The wolf? I can't remember. Off the top of my head.
Shiro. Yes.
Yes. He just, he seemed like John Wick. He was just like this badass where like literally nobody could stop him. Nobody could touch him. And he just like, yeah, dude, it was sick.
Yeah. Personality wise, I kind of felt like he was like, people compared him to Todoroki from My Hero with his personality. Cause like, when he's in fighting mode, he handles situations very well, but as a person, he's kind of quiet. I wouldn't say boring per se, but he's not the most exciting character. Like he's not always full of energy and talking to people. He's very to himself, and even his facial expression and Todoroki's facial expression is on point. Like they look exactly the same.
Super modest,
yeah.
For me, for me, I definitely enjoyed it. I'll also rate it 8.5 out of 10.
Solid.
But for me, I unlike Connor here, I can't connect it to B-Stars and I watch B-Stars. But B&A, I feel like I thoroughly enjoyed it, excluding like 3 episodes, because like the last episode, I honestly felt like it kind of the way they went about it kind of changed. For example, Shiro and like how he got portrayed with the whole Silver Wolf and then Alan transformed. I felt like it was a little more cartoonish than anime. If you kind of
did have more kind of cartoony vibe in the art style, but
But it was. I feel like I honestly love the action. I honestly love that. The action was pretty cool, and then how Shiro can tell, like he can basically imagine what goes on, just by like closing his eyes and smelling. I think he smells. Pretty sure. I thought that concept was pretty cool too. So
he has his wolf sense of smell.
Yeah. But you connected it to what's his name? Todoroki? Yeah, Todoroki.
Todoroki. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really connect it to him.
Well, there's this review. This guy Sonic Ha did a review on BNA, and that's probably one of the best anime reviews I've seen all year. Like, it's a fantastic review. He puts a lot of effort in his videos, and there was a good segment of it where he was comparing Shiro to Todoroki, and I never saw it. I never made that comparison, but he just like laid it out so flawlessly, and I'm like, okay, I can't unsee it now. I can't unsee Shiro as being Todoroki or John Wick, or like a combination of both of them, but like in a wolf form.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, I say Dark Knight, but mostly it just reminded me kind of like of the story of Dark Knight, you know, like the Batman movie where like the whole town is just turning into these like beast monsters. And it reminded me like when that drug was, or not even Dark Knight, it was the first the Batman Begins one, where like the whole like Arkham City or Gotham City or whatever is like the gas is released and they're all just going berserk. It reminded me of that. It was like really sick, just like going through the like city, just trying to protect everything. Thought that was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely did. I definitely did too. And I really like the anime. Like I really like the animation style.
Yeah, and it was very original.
Yeah, it definitely was. And if Trigger's animating Attack on Titan, I really want to know what it's gonna look like at this point. Like seeing how Trigger animates and then seeing how Attack on Titan looks, I'm so curious on how they're gonna execute the animation. They're gonna keep it the same style. They're gonna keep it the way Attack on Titan's already, you know.
So wait, are they doing Attack on Titan?
Yeah, they're doing the next season.
I thought it was the people that are doing the God of High School.
Is it the same people or is it?
I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. I made a video on it a while ago. I can't remember what. It was
check it real quick.
Yeah, I'll go to God High School. It was some like newer one, I think. It was the people that did Yuri on Ice. Studio Mappa.
Oh, Studio Mappa. Okay, yeah. I don't know why I had Trigger. I feel like Trigger.
That would be if Trigger did Attack on Titan. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick.
Yeah, no, Trigger. One thing I wish they did with BNA is I wish they would have made it 24 episodes like Kill la Kill, because Kill la Kill had 24 episodes just right off the bat. Yeah. And I think there's going to be a season 2. I really hope there is, because I think they left it on a note where there's just way more to be expanded from there, especially with Shiro's character development, because he fights and does a lot of badass things, but as a character, he's not. You don't really know that much about him. Like, he's pretty to himself, and I'd like there to be more development with him. And towards the end, you actually saw him smile and have fun, which is something he hasn't done throughout the BNA. He hasn't seemed happy like one bit. Very, very, very rare, if any at all, except towards the end. So I wanted to see him actually be more of a human and not just this dude that fights crime, which it feels like that's how he feels he is, as just someone that fights crime and protects people all like 24/7.
Right. And I mean, they kind of touched upon his backstory as well. Yeah. I think it would be cool if they like went deeper into like that past civilization of Beastman and like what actually happened. Because they kind of touched upon like the same virus or like the berserking thing happened back then as well. But it'd be cool to actually see that and like all these other like the beast, like the gods or whatever. I was kind of confused on what was it Alan actually was, but I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, he's like what do you call himself? A purebred? I'm pretty sure.
No, he wasn't. He turned out not to be. No, he wasn't.
Turned out not to be.
He's a self-hating beast, man.
Okay. That'd be so sick to see other ones, though. You know?
That's another thing BNA touched up on was the concept of racism, which I've noticed a lot of anthropomorphic shows, especially that try to interpret our society, do that, like if not most all of them. And they even did they did like an Auschwitz reference, if you guys caught that. Yeah, and that's one thing in there I thought they did an okay job of, but I thought Beastars just did a way better job of explaining ideas of racism and privilege, how some people are privileged in this way and aren't in other ways, and I thought they related that really well to the real world. But BNA just didn't feel as strong after I watched Beastars. I watched them not too long after one another, and just I don't know, plot wise, I think I get in my review, I think I gave it like a set, like I gave it like the lowest score out of the visuals and just the action and everything else, but it still did its job well, and it had good pacing and the story was well done, but it just wasn't as good as other like furry shows that I've watched.
Right. Yeah, I think that's part of the reason I liked it so much is because of like the kind of real world connections it made. Like
Oh
especially
yeah.
watching it right now with all the kind of crap that's going on in our country, that
Oh
it
yeah.
really like kind of hit home. Had like
Yeah,
extra connections that you can make, and I thought that was pretty
yeah,
unique.
yeah. I was thinking to myself, like, because knowing Japan and how Japan is, they never speak about World War II and the things that
Mm.
happened during the war. And I'm like, hold on, they just made a World War II reference in
Well,
Auschwitz.
they do about Germany, but not about Japan.
Yeah.
Right.
If you
Okay.
watch Helsing Ultimate, that's
Yeah.
Oh
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. They make tons of World War II Germany
Right.
references, but they never make references to their country. But they can to
Yeah.
Germany. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they put all the blame, all the shame on Germany. Vampire Nazis, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I honestly like the way that because I haven't really watched many furry animes, and I feel like after watching BNA, I just might start watching a lot of them, and I'm gonna
Dude, you should
expand my
definitely watch
horizon.
Beastars.
Yeah,
That's
definitely watch
yeah,
Beastars. Pick up the manga's even better too.
okay,
Mm.
okay.
Next season
Um,
is like this is how I describe Beastars. The first season with the first two arcs is kind of Hunter x Hunter. It's kind of like in my opinion, like the beginning of Hunter x Hunter with the Hunter exams. And then when they get
mhm.
to the Murder Solution arc, that felt like the York New arc to me. That's when
Okay.
everything everything just kind of changed for the I wouldn't well some people disagree with me, but I think for the better, and things just got a lot more real. There was more violence and real things happening and more emotions going on between the characters, kind of like how it was in Hunter x Hunter with the York New arc. And the York New arc felt more realistic. It wasn't quite as I mean it's still fantasy, but it wasn't like how the Hunter exam was, all these kind of mythical creatures and
Right.
forest stuff. Like it felt extremely real, even though they didn't have real life abilities and they have Nen and all this shit. But
Right.
like the next arc after this, it's much, much more real. Like things get hit in way more critical circumstances, and a lot of character
Right.
development happens between Legosi and Louis.
Do they in Beastars, like I don't want to spoil anything because I'm not that far yet, but
Yeah.
do they like is there a power system that kind of gets created, or does it stay kind of more like authentic to like, just their raw power of the carnivores and
They
whatnot?
they don't develop a power system, but there are sort of I wouldn't say rules, but they create like certain animals are a little bit more stronger than
Right.
others. And also they kind of base like carnivores that have killed more other carnivores or killed other herbivores kind of have a little bit more strength or power to
Right.
them, or they've done more
Experience, yeah.
more experience. In the Murder Solution arc, they explain Lugosi tries to become more like a herbivore while Louis becomes more like a carnivore.
Mm.
I kind of a spoiler right there, but
That's kind of a cool concept though.
oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Is what made me fall in love with the series.
Right.
And Lugosi ends up trying so hard not to be a carnivore and becomes like going like trains him, and he gets really good with his fists, but his bite force is really weak. Like his
Right.
bite force like diminishes really badly. But he ends up
Okay.
becoming very good like at hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. But him not eating meat and him just like rejecting everything that he was doing as a carnivore before, even though he wasn't really eating meat, but he was still kind of failing to his instincts because he would just like sit in front of a big piece of meat like chained up for hours.
Right.
And going just made him like go through like most intense training.
Jeez.
And so it changed him in a way. And then after that, like both those characters just greatly change after that arc because they go through so much. And I'm not going to spoil anymore, but I really highly recommend you pick up the manga
Definitely.
because the manga did it better than the anime in a lot of ways. And I
Which
hope they
often is the
don't.
case, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first two arcs, because part of his drawings got a lot better. Like in the first two arcs, like the drawings feel kind of like weird at times, and the proportions are off. But
Mm.
as the chapters go on, her art style gets like dramatically better,
Right.
and that's why some people like prefer watching the anime over the first two arcs because it just looks a little bit prettier. But I would say that still in the manga, like the manga still included some things in the first season that were left out, like just things that were a little bit more fucked up and there was more blood, and they kind of nerfed it a little bit in the anime, which they always do. But
They always do.
yeah, I'm gonna see what they do with this with the Murder Solution arc because there's a lot more graphic material in that arc.
Right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely check out the manga and the anime. Like you guys have got me intrigued and a little curious.
Yeah. That could be a good one to talk about next week. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, definitely. Well, you guys gonna expect me to talk about Berserk. And
Oh right,
I
I
definitely
forgot
no.
Berserk.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do Berserk. I'm gonna try to finish it by tomorrow, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna start Beastars right afterwards.
Yeah. Luckily, it's only 12 episodes. It's
Okay.
really quick. It's a good binge. You can just binge it real quick.
Right.
And the thing about Netflix is a lot easier to binge shows with
Oh yeah.
because these you can keep going. But with YouTube, I mean, YouTube isn't bad. It's just watching it in English dubbed is just I really don't want to watch it dubbed.
I
I feel
couldn't
like
find the sub. I couldn't
yeah,
find the
I
Berserk
can't
sub
find it.
anywhere.
I feel like it'd be so much better in sub than it would be in dub. But
Yeah.
dubbed is not bad.
It has like decent 90s dubs usually
Yeah, for
range
sure.
from good, very good to just terrible.
Right.
If you're watching 90s anime.
Very
The audio quality. It's the audio quality for me.
Yeah.
It's like it's a little choppy and a little hard to hear what it's not hard to hear what they're saying. It's just I feel like I gotta turn up the volume.
Dude, I don't even know where to watch like other than YouTube. Like that anime is so elusive. Like unless you just purchase the Blu-ray or something, like literally there's nowhere else.
The Blu-ray is expensive.
Yeah, it's like $60 for a season.
$60 for a season? I was gonna say all anime Blu-rays. I think all anime Blu-rays are pretty expensive.
Right. Yeah.
$60? That's a lot.
Dude, my buddy, I'm doing a video with him. Like he's never watched any anime, so he's kind of like doing a noob anime take. That'll be out, I don't know when, next week or so. But he went and picked up the Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray because he has a thing about purchasing. He likes to own physical copies of stuff.
Okay.
Like the box sets and whatnot. And a used one was like $65.
Shit.
Yeah, for one season.
Just imagine how much that would cost at a convention, man.
I'm kind of afraid to go to conventions. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm afraid to cost too much money.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you can't even go anymore. I think
we can't.
They're all closed down.
Yeah, not this year, man. Not this year. I had 2 conventions I was supposed to go to,
right?
And they both got closed. And that's content, man. Content.
How would you say the virus and stuff is like around the area that you're, because you were in New York and that's where a lot of the cons are.
So basically, it was at first it was terrible. Like lockdown was from March to June, and they extended the lockdown twice, and it's like that affected so much with like going out. You know, I couldn't even go to the simple anime store, man.
What was your lockdown like? Like, for instance, mine, I live in Vermont, so it didn't really hit me bad here. So my lockdown was like, you know, we could still go out and like get takeout food or like do like curbside pickups and stuff, like or go on jogs and walks, whatever we really wanted. We just couldn't go in places per se. Like, I don't know, what was it like in New York?
It was sort of the same, but it was more like you couldn't be out at us. They put a curfew on us, for example.
Oh, they had an actual curfew.
Yeah, well, it's mainly because of the riot, but because the riot happened during the coronavirus, and it's like New York is full of. I don't want to be mean and say New York is full of ignorant people. New York is full of tons of ignorant people.
It's
it's a lot of people that don't want to follow the quarantine. They follow the lockdown, for example.
Right.
Not pointing out a specific group of people, but they're like Jews that did not care about the coronavirus. Like they were meeting up in large groups and things like that, and just caused a lot of like cases to come into outbursts basically. And it's just like the more people didn't really care about the coronavirus. Like they just thought, oh, it'll pass. It's like it's just the flu. It's to the point. It was so bad to the point where I was in the middle of class, right? And they told us that they stopped class midway and told us we have to go home because the lockdown. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Jeez.
It's like, but now it's a lot better. That's why I was so confident at the convention. The convention when it had been canceled because we have one of the lowest cases now, but there's still cases coming. In the air.
It shows how effective it was, I guess.
Yeah, it definitely was effective. It definitely was effective. But kids are going back to school. I guess they're doing the school.
Yeah.
Kids are going to school like 2 days a week. Sorry, there's a plane. I'm not sure if you guys are playing. But yes, kids going to school like 2 days a week now. And then like doing online class. Like me personally, me specifically, I'm doing all remote classes, so I'm not doing any in person. Only time I would, if I were to do in person, I would have like a biology class or a chemistry class, something like
Like
that.
a lab or something.
Yeah, yeah, like a lab. So
Interesting. What is it like
yeah,
for you, Eric? Because I know that you're in a place where it's kind of more recently hit.
Yeah, no, our lockdown is so bad. Everything's online, and they even told me when I was getting my classes all set up, the instructor told me, yeah, we're probably going to do this next year. Like, expect this to be possibly still happening next year with how bad our cases are still. And I was like, fuck, because not just conventions here. I'm hoping it gets better in other hits, because I purchased a $120 VIP ticket. I was going to help run a merch stand, do everything else over in Chicago, at Chicago Domination Fest, because my friend has a store there. And everything we had all this planned out, had planes, had a place to stay, everything, and that got canceled. And my ticket, they said they're going to postpone it until next year, and I still have my tickets active and everything else. But I killed a lot of what I was going to do this summer. Those are for a bit, and then yeah, it's been the quarantine here hasn't gotten any better. More people are masking up and going outside, but how, like, for every place is closed, the gyms are still closed. Well, they just recently opened up the gyms, but you have to book an appointment and go by yourself. So people are just like, fuck that, I'm still working out like at my friend's house.
Right.
And basically everything's still pretty much the same since the initial lockdown. They're just trying to make it more loose, but it's just hard to do anything now because everything has to be by appointment. It's especially if you're doing things that normally, like, go to the gym or something like that, where a good amount of people go. You can't go with so many people, and you have to wear a mask while you're working out, which I couldn't fucking do. I can't do squats while I'm wearing a mask. I just couldn't breathe. I always look like lift my mask up before doing something there, but they're like strict. If you do that, you get kicked out immediately.
Really?
Yeah, like they're really strict about it. My friend got kicked out just for taking it off for a second.
Jeez.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. And it's like it's getting so bad to the point where, like, you know, they're banning certain kinds of masks. For example, like masks that have what do you call it, the filters. Like some places, like airports, they won't allow you to wear it because apparently it helps you, but it doesn't help the people around you.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like for example, you Eric, you were supposed to go to the convention in Chicago, and I had 2 conventions I was supposed to go to. I was supposed to go to LA in July, and I was supposed to have this convention in November. And November's it's like 3 months away, and they already canceled it. And it's like when I saw New York Comic Con get canceled, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to Anime NYC, because if Comic Con's getting canceled, everything else is getting canceled.
Yeah, it's a crying shame because I've never been to a con before.
Same.
It's so fun, man. It's like when you go with friends. I was supposed to go with my girlfriend. It's like when you go with friends, it's like you can take pictures of the cosplay, and some of the cosplays are absolutely dope. Like I saw this one at Anime NYC last year. He's like in a whole robot costume, and it was like lighting up and stuff. Like, yo, that's Sometimes they charge you to take pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, this year I finally have friends to go to conventions with. I have a friend who wants to go to an anime convention with me. And I have a friend who's down to go to a furry convention with me, because I didn't even discover he was into that stuff until recently. We actually did a video together recently too. And now this will happen. I'm like, fuck, I have to wait for all this shit. Right. But even then, I'm still kind of afraid with how much money. I don't know. He spends more money on merch than I do, but I kind of want to have at least $400, $300 in my pocket just to be safe, like all in cash.
Oh, you might need more than that, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Dude, anime merch is so expensive.
Yeah, it's conventions, they charge so much. Like I think I bought what's her name? From Angel Beats. Starts with a K. Her name starts with a K. White hair girl. Have you guys watched Angel Beats or no?
I've watched Angel Beats.
I bought a figure. Like it was like this big, right? Like this big, and they charged me like $80 for it.
Right. Yeah.
And I think I would be able to get that from Amazon for $30 right now. And I don't even have it anymore. The wing broke when I moved. But it's like, they up the price so much. So I would say at least save like $400, $500, because that can go in one day. Like honestly, going away. I was supposed to go for a whole weekend for both of my conventions. I had weekend tickets for both of them. So one day I have to try my best not to spend all of my money because it's so tempting. Like you'll go to one booth and be like, "Oh, I want that," and then you see another one right there and you get that one too, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I'd imagine at anime conventions is kind of like how it is at furry conventions.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is why you drop so much money is a bunch of the merch you can't get online. There's tons of custom made stuff, and especially in the furry community, a lot of the merchandise there is a lot of the comics and other things are underground. Like a lot of it's all handmade and makeshift things, or it's from like very like websites you probably haven't heard of, or on Etsy. It's usually pretty expensive. And at conventions, apparently, there's just tons of custom stores and what's the word for it?
Fan art style stuff.
Yeah, like freelance people that make their own stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that there, and that's cool. Me and Zach were like, yeah, no, if we went there, we'd spend so much money because there's all these things that we like that are really underground comics and shows that just there'd be tons of merch where there isn't anywhere online.
Right.
That's what everyone says at convention. Like there's like tons of that kind of merch there, and I'm like, shit, that's the kind of merch I would just buy the fuck out of.
And it's not even like the convention, like buying things from the convention is what I wanted to do most. I really wanted to record, man. Like that was that was the thing I was looking forward to most, like vlogging at a convention.
Right.
Like, it's not even for the views, man. It's just for the joy of
the
it.
Experience, yeah. I also love vlogging. I want to cosplay too there.
Yeah, my girlfriend wants to cosplay, so I might just do it with her. So
cosplay is a lot of fun.
To do just some Weebs anime con expansion.
I have cosplays. I have two pretty good cosplays I can use. I have a Lugosi cosplay and Mr. Guido from JoJo's cosplay as well.
Yeah, I was thinking about JoJo. I might cosplay as like what's his name? The World. I might cosplay as the World. Hold on.
I would recommend you guys get caught up on JoJo's, but that would probably take way too long. I might make that like I don't know, like an all end of the year assignment or something. There's like, because if you guys are on Diamonds Unbreakable, is that where you guys said you were?
That's where
I think I'm around there. The last thing I remember from JoJo's, because I've taken a break for a minute. I was waiting. I don't know why. I just stopped watching
I do too.
But it was like they were kind of like old like Indian looking dudes that had like they were like super powerful. One of them had like he controlled like his blood or something, I think.
Oh, that's on part 2. That's with Joseph Joestar.
Yeah, that's the last thing I remember.
That's before they started incorporating stands.
Oh yeah, I never saw stands.
Okay,
I don't even know what those are.
You have a lot of memes, a lot of good memes.
Yeah. I've seen them all. They just never make sense. So.
You watch the show, it makes it that much better because JoJo's isn't one of my favorite animes. I like it a lot, but it's not up there in my top 5 or probably my top 10. But the memes are fantastic, and me and my friends just have so much fun making JoJo's references and just talking about the memes and just like annoying people because they don't know what we're talking about whenever we're hanging out.
It's like I started watching JoJo for the memes, man. I started watching and it's like I understand majority of them. Like I understand majority, but the ones where you have Josuke and Dio's son, what's his name? Or grandson. Yeah.
Giorno Giovanna.
Yeah. Giorno. Those I don't understand, but the ones with Jotaro, I definitely understand. They're absolutely funny.
Yeah, JoJo's took a turn in a complete different direction, especially if you watch the first 2 parts, feel way different than the rest of it. Because in Stardust Crusaders, they start incorporating stands, and all battling is fought by stands now. Like they just completely flip the whole fighting system. Instead of with their fists and other abilities, it's just all stands. Like everyone just fights with stands now, and I think it made the combat a little bit better. I like it.
What is a stand?
That's why I tell people.
Explain it. What is a stand?
It's like so it's like an embodiment. Like basically, you have a power, right? And then that power has a body, and you control that body. It's weird.
And it's kind of a reflection of yourself.
Yeah.
Interesting. I gotta catch up.
That's why I tell people, man, just get past the first season. Just get past the first
season. I watched the first and the second season, like they were good, but like I wasn't really like captivated by them. But like it seems like it gets so much better.
Oh yeah. Diamonds Unbreakable is kind of a slow burn. Like some people really like it, but I feel like it just dragged on for too long and parts of it were kind of boring. But part 5 with Giorno Giovanna, that's my favorite part out of all the JoJo's.
I
Like
love
they just had the best cast out of any of the seasons. And
Wait, is there an anime for it, or is it just manga?
it's an anime.
It's
Yeah, it's the
anime.
last only part. They haven't gotten to part 6 yet, but part
That
5 is where they're all in Italy and everyone's Italian, and they just bunch of shit goes down. It's actually pretty sad too. It's probably one of the saddest JoJo's season too, but also the most fun, like the most funny, most fun and enjoyable season, as well as the saddest. Like,
so it's pretty caught up then to.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
They're working on part 6 right now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Have you guys read the manga?
No, I haven't.
I've read parts of it, but I haven't caught up. I do want to start reading them.
They look sick. Like I love the hardcover. Like book. They look like just having the whole box set of that would be, I don't know,
expensive.
Cool. Expensive, yeah. Those ones are expensive.
And have you seen how much JoJo figures are, man?
Yeah. I don't know. I watched the Trash Taste podcast. I don't know if you guys saw the one where they did like the competition.
I want to do something like that.
That was sick. But like the JoJo ones were like, oh yeah, so and crazy.
The thing is, speaking about that video, the funniest part of that video is when Joey went up to the worker and he was like, "You guys sell Boku no Pico merch."
Boku no Pico.
And then he was like, and then he was like trying to explain it back in English, and it was that was funny, man. But yeah, JoJo merch is expensive. It's way too. It's way out of my budget, man. I can't. I struggle buying figures for $100.
Yeah.
And I want to drop $100-something on some merch, like some anime manga merch, but maybe in the next few months. I'm just doing some side hustles that I'm doing right now with school, but in the meantime, right now I have to keep my budget pretty
These
there.
Uncertain times.
Yeah, quarantine kind of messed over my job and what I was going to do for work, but I have other jobs and stuff I'm doing right now, but I'm not making as much money as I was last year.
Definitely.
Just gotta get to that 1,000 subs.
Man, if I said my monetization,
I'm
almost at 500. I made like 20 last night. One of my videos is at like 2,000 right now. So
really, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. People loved my live stream yesterday, man, and actually, people loved the BNA video I made. Like, I kept getting comments. Like, oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, I've kind of taken a backseat. I need to get back on doing videos.
It's hard, man. It's hard when you stop. It's
exactly. Like, I stay in that grind. Yeah.
I stopped from so I made my first video in October, and I stopped, and I think I continued in February. So, and that first video I made had 300 and something views, and I've had like 20 subscribers at the time, but I never went back on it. So the views I got never caught up with the one I had before. And so recently, and my wife who tier list video just keeps going up and up and up, and I'm loving it, man. People. So I changed, like 2 days ago, I just recently changed my featured video on my channel from the first one to that one. So, and people, and I saw you voted for the giveaway on my poll, and for some reason, people still want the hentai tier list video. And I'm so confused, and I have to make that myself. So I have to sit there and swallow my pride and my dignity to make a hentai tier.
There's so many tier lists I want to make. Like, I try to do one every 2 weeks. I kind of have a little schedule. I try to do 3 videos a week and do a tier list. That's maybe once every 3 weeks. Yeah, and I do Let's Discuss videos like every 1 to 2 weeks. Those are just 2 videos I try to keep frequent. I don't know how long I'll be able to keep that up, especially with school coming back around. But with tier lists, like so many I want to do.
Yeah, I used to do a video a day, man. That's
tough, dude. I started with like two a week, and I'm like, I'm gonna stick with this. But then like stuff happens, you know. I just got my real estate license, so I started working in real estate as well. So it's like I'm trying to balance like an actual job and YouTube, and like it's hard to keep the grind going.
Yeah. I'm taking 5 classes this semester, man.
School. I don't know how you guys do it.
With some videos, like a lot of face cam videos, I usually do those in like 1 or 2, 3 takes. Like if I have something on my mind and I have to say it, it comes out pretty clean. There's other times where I'm just not in the mood to do it, and I try to, and I just can't make the videos some days. If I'm doing face cam videos, the other videos, like I write a script the night before, I make sure that's all written out, and I just put it all on my mic and then put background. But
Right.
Yeah, like the face cam videos, like I have to be in a certain mood. Like if I'm in a good mood and I feel confident, I can just get that knocked out and have something pretty good to say. But if I'm in a really shitty
Try to
mood, I'm
force
feeling
it.
anxiety, I just can't do it.
Right. I've had that a couple times.
Yeah,
I'm like, I start it and I'm like, nah, I'm not feeling it. Just erase everything I did.
Yeah, even on chapter reviews, I do some face camming. I have a little format for that. I have to do at least intro and outro with my face. And then sometimes I have to do that like 20 something times. Like the latest chapter review I did, like, because the Beastars chapter got released late, and my friend had to translate it for me and gave it to me as a little gift to upload, and which is really, really nice. I mean, shouts out to her. But I was trying to do a face cam and I had to do it so many times I was just not feeling it, because I woke up at like pretty early, because usually the chapter gets released early, and the person who was supposed to translate it just didn't do it, and I was waiting around until like 4, just waiting for that to drop, because I have Wednesdays off to do that usually, and I was just annoyed by it all day. And then finally I got it at a very last minute, and I made the video pretty quick too. Like it was probably the quickest video chapter review I've made. And when I was trying to face cam, that took the longest, because I was just like, fuck, I'm just not in the mood to do this shit. But I ended up getting it out, and it turned out well, and people like it. So I'm just happy it's like that now.
Yeah, honestly, I've kind of had a couple things like that too.
Yeah, I feel like knowing that I'm not gonna have to go to in person classes, making videos is gonna be a lot easier than it was before. So
some classes I feel like are gonna be easier, because I haven't done online schooling yet. I feel like like I have like one general elective, which I think it's gonna be really easy to do online, but I don't know how the other classes are gonna go.
Yeah, I'm taking a math class online, and I'll say like it's nice because you don't have to like the obligation of going in, but it's hard because you don't have like the teacher there to like, if you don't get something, like just go up and ask him. It's like it's really on you to like look up videos or like read the textbook to actually like understand some of the topics.
Yeah, I'm a graphic design student, so it's like I'm taking 3 art classes this semester, and it's like, and I'm taking Japanese 101 and honors English. So those are it's gonna be a rough semester, man. Because I can't get help in person, and especially my art classes. It's like I can't physically ask my professor for help, because. And first of all, my graphic design professor last year was just an absolute asshole, man. Like it's like I would ask her for help, right? She's like, I'm not gonna repeat it again and write it down. I'm like, all right, I guess. Like, but it's like, this is what I'm paying for. I'm paying for you to help me learn, you know? It's like, and it's, I don't know.
It's gonna be rough. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'm feeling too old for this shit. Like, this was the year when I turned 25. This is the year where I was like, fuck, I'm actually starting to feel kind of old. I mean, luckily I don't look old or anything, but it finally hit me, and I'm like about to get my associate's degree, and I want to get my bachelor's, but I'm just like, fuck, I wish I would have just done this a couple years ago, because there's a few years where I just decided I couldn't really pay rent or anything. It was hard for me to juggle school and work, so I just decided to work, and I found a pretty good job. I didn't like it or anything, but I was making good money, and I was getting hours, like 60-hour weeks, and just grinding hard on that. But I kind of postponed school for a while, and it's kind of biting me in the ass a little bit now, because I'm just like, I want to get this finished with and stop doing work that makes me miserable.
60 hours a week is a lot.
That's
like I used to
work week.
I went to culinary school.
3 years.
Jeez.
I went to culinary school after I finished high school, and I graduated that, and I went to this restaurant in Manhattan, and I struggled working 45 hours a week.
The restaurant business is tough too. I mean, I've worked in that my whole life basically, and it requires a whole new breed of people.
Oh yeah, definitely. I refuse to work in any restaurant.
Like, I remember I had this one chef de cuisine, or executive sous chef, and he's like, why are you here? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you're a waste of space. And I'm like, why are you gonna sit there? Like, see, that was the breaking point for me, man, because I just could not have somebody talk to me like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm gonna go back to school and get my associates or my bachelor's. I'm getting my associates right now.
That's a good kind of start, because like you'll regret it later on. Because when I was 20 and I stopped going to school, I was like, oh, I don't give a shit. I'm making money. I'm buying this. I was able to like pay my rent, get a few things I wanted, do all this before it took a huge mental toll on me. And around, I was like 24, I was like, fuck, I really regret doing that. Like, man, and now it's hitting me like really hard now. I'm like, fuck, I really should have gotten my degree, especially with all this quarantine, all this stuff going on.
Right.
Like, I wish I would have had my career by now, but I have time to do it, and I'm still able to support myself. So it's not, I'm not in a super bad situation, but it could be worse.
It always could be worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you guys with the I want to do a tier list video. What do you guys use to like make the actual like the tiers?
It's a website called tier list.
Yeah, tier list, and I just record my computer's or my monitor screen, and then I just put the webcam on, and I literally do them all in one take. I've never done a tier list video that wasn't in one take.
Really? Yeah. So you just like clip out some photos to put into it, or is it just like?
You just record the website. You just take out a screen of the website where the tier is, and then you just use your mouse and just move it around. Just click and drop, and then put your mic on and just say what you have to say.
Some of them are pre-made. Some of them you have to make yourself.
So you can make your own like tier, like you can put all the different characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of work though. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
but speaking of since we're going back to anime, you guys recently watched the first part of Clannad. And I was wondering what was who was your favorite character and what was your favorite episode in the first season? You want to start, Connor?
Yeah. I'd say, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of confused at the beginning of the series. Like I didn't really know where it was going or what like it was gonna be, but they cleared that up. Like I'd say around episode 5 or 6, somewhere around there, and it kind of really took a story of its own. And that's when I started really getting into it. But first 4 episodes, I was kind of iffy about it. But I think, what was her name? My favorite character, I liked. Was it Caillou?
What color's her hair?
She
the
purple.
Twins?
Twins. Yeah, the one that was like kind of like bossy or aggressive. I really liked her. I don't know why.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite female characters. The rest of the female characters I felt were a little cliche anime.
Right.
Like Kawaii.
You guys didn't like Nagisa?
Which one? Oh, the main.
Nagisa. Yeah, the main heroine.
I liked her, but I felt like she kind of just took a back seat, in my opinion. She kind of just was there. Like, I don't know.
That's the thing about her character. That's just the kind of person she is. She's not really an outspoken character. Yeah. She's like
there when you need her, kind of.
Yeah.
She's like always there for you, type of thing.
Yeah, and I don't know. I kind of like Tomoe. I love Tomoe's best friend, man. Like I forgot his name. It starts with an S.
Oh yeah, Sunohara.
Yeah, Sunohara.
Dude, I was gonna say he reminds me of Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. I don't know why. He just had such a Zenitsu vibe.
Okay. This is one thing I say about Clannad. I found the males to be more interesting than the females. It's supposed to be also a female-based anime, but I found them just to be be
Yeah.
And Nagisa's father is hilarious.
He was awesome.
Hilarious. And the thing about Tomoya, speaking about fathers, Tomoya, the way how he treats his father, man, it's just like why? Like I understand that his father, like after his mom died, his father was just a complete drunk and just not treat him the way he should have. But you got to realize he lost his wife. He has to raise a kid on his own, and it's like he's trying now, and Tomoya just treats him like absolute crap, and like he doesn't show him any kind of remorse or love for him.
Right. Well, I actually found it to be a little bit relatable because when you're a teenager, especially at his age, you don't really understand what your parents have to go through because you haven't worked a real job or really had to fend for yourself, and you're just going to school, and maybe your dad's kind of an asshole or is doing a few things that piss you off, and you're going through puberty, you're having all these kinds of things happen, and you just maybe don't feel like your father was the best support system for you or isn't like entirely doing his job, or you're just kind of an angsty teenager. Because my dad was never like that, but like when I was a teenager, I didn't really have a relationship with my father. Like he just kind of pissed me off, and some of it was his fault, and he had, we've like reconciled our differences, but I'll admit a lot of it was me too, and I could admit to my faults back then, and I wasn't the best kid when I was in high school, and he had to deal with me and I had to deal with him just because he hated his job, and he was like towards the last years of his retirement, and he took a lot of it out on me, and I just could never talk to him. We just didn't talk for like 3 years, but it's gotten a lot better, but I could kind of relate to him a little bit there.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. See, then that's why I can't wait for you guys to get into the second season, because the second season is the most lifelike season there is. Like
Okay.
Tomoya goes through so much during that season. And
is it like after high school or something?
Yeah, it's after high school.
After school, I
Oh,
think.
it happens
after story.
After high school. Okay.
Yes, it's like after high school. And so I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but just know you guys are gonna feel bad for him during that season. And like he goes through such a train wreck, man.
Oh,
I love it when animes get out of high school. Is there some animes that just stay in high school for way too freaking long?
Right.
Like to the point, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's an anime that takes place in high school." Like that's so cliche. And I find it to not be cliche when they actually get out of high school. Like get it, like the next arc or the next season, they get out of high school, and then they start doing all kinds of other crazy shit. Like that's not confined to where they were in the high school. Like they even do that in Beastars too. All of them, like high school isn't even relevant after like the first arcs, and they start doing all kinds of cool shit. And like every anime that does that, usually it's very good for the story progression. Like high school is a great place to start, but not to stay.
And it's like, what was I about to say? Damn, I forgot.
So is it like Netflix breaks it up into 2 volumes? So that's not. Yeah. So that's technically all the first season. Like
how many episodes?
It's 12 episodes in each volume, and the first volume that we both watched, the first 12 episodes, ends with like what's the girl's name? Kotomi. Mm-hmm. She like they're walking down the street and some like guy in like a trench coat like grabs her or something, and it ends.
Both seasons have 24 episodes, so
okay, so they just break it up into 2 parts.
I don't know why they do that. That makes no sense to me.
Okay, because I was confused. Like I thought it was after the high school, and then like I looked at the next couple episodes, and they were still doing the drama club.
And I feel like you guys really gonna love the second part because. Like
it really hits its stride.
Yeah, and it's like, for example, Tomoya's best friend. Like, this is not really a spoiler. I just find it really funny. So, like, he dyes his hair black, right?
Oh, God.
Because he's applying to jobs, and you can't. And if yes, in Japan, you can't apply to jobs with blonde hair. So it's like, and it's just, I don't know. And it shows you how much realism is in the show because. You have somebody as quirky as him and outspoken as him, changing the way he is because of what he has to do.
Right.
And Tomoya literally makes fun of him for the color because he dyed his hair black. That's funny. I love the relationship, man. They got in that fight. Have you guys got to the fight yet or no?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? No? Okay, yeah, I'm not.
That's another thing too. Like I feel like this whole show is like who's Tomoya gonna choose as like his girlfriend, but like right now we just like right when the first part ends, it's like I thought it was whatever her Nagisa. I thought it was gonna be like her like 100%, but then it ends with him talking and like being closer to that other girl that's kind of always in the library and.
The first part is more like a harem slice life high school anime, but then the second one, that one, I guess the second part of the first season starts to take a turn and go more towards,
it's like drama.
It leads to the second season and it leads to them finishing high school and things like that. So yeah, I definitely recommend you guys finish it. And like you said, the first 4 episodes were kind of slow and kind of iffy, and then they picked up afterwards.
Definitely.
That's what I kind of like about. And if you guys haven't known, the little puppet thing that keeps popping up in like the breaks, like in for example, the first episode with Tomoya and Tomoya saw Nagisa at the bottom of the hill. You saw that little robot looking thing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's Tomoya in a sense, and you'll see why that's Tomoya at the end of the complete anime.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a really, really like you have to look between the lines and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean a lot of anime too generally, it's hard to really get the gist of it with only 6 episodes or 12 episodes, especially when it's a longer series like that. So definitely have to watch the next part.
And the way, and when people say they won't watch anime because of the way the characters look, and it's like,
I don't really recognize. Like, I know that series has a thing about like the eyes being big, but like,
the eyes are really big, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really, I don't know, bother me that much.
I'm just used to it by now.
Yeah.
I feel like there isn't a character that you can really hate in Clannad, man. Like there's no character that you can say you hate or not like in Clannad. Like, I feel like everybody has their significance in the show in terms of their character and their role in the show.
I agree.
For sure.
So, what animes do you think we're gonna watch next week or have for this week's assignment?
Okay,
This
so
week's
definitely
assignment.
Berserk, maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna finish Berserk, and I'm definitely gonna watch Beastars.
Okay,
Those are two good ones. Yeah,
I need some anime for myself. Or
yeah, let's see. I feel like you've seen so much. Like you definitely have a bigger pool than I've watched.
Okay, yeah.
Let me go to my anime list real quick.
Actually, that's a really good idea because I have.
Like, wait, have you seen Dororo?
Oh, Dotoro. Oh, that's a good one.
If you haven't seen that, that's 100% what I want you to watch because I think you would love that.
Yeah.
That's honestly, I'd say that's probably top 5 anime for me.
Dotoro, yeah, on Netflix.
It's on. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking.
Dotoro. I thought you were talking about Dotahedro.
Yeah, no, Dotoro.
I haven't watched Dotoro. I will watch that.
That's on. If you have Amazon Prime, it's on there. I'm not sure where else it is. That's just where I watched it.
I think my mom has Amazon Prime, and I can just leech off of hers. But
right.
I recommend School Days.
School Days. Okay,
you gotta see why everybody hates it, man.
School Days.
Okay, so Dotoro for sure. I'm gonna watch that because I wanted to watch that one anyways.
Yeah,
on my list.
It's a little longer. It's like 26 episodes. Dotoro.
Okay, I'll probably just watch that one or I could probably binge that in a week.
Yeah.
I recommend we should watch Dotahedro. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but the one guy with the lizard head. If you see that,
is it like Doro or something?
Doro. Yeah. Or I don't know how this.
I don't know how to say it. Yeah.
That is a very, very good show.
That's been on my list of wanting to watch.
And it's only 12 episodes. It's on Netflix, so.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
Yeah, I'll have that.
Have you seen Doro? I'm just gonna say Doro. Say it, Doro. Have you seen that?
I've seen it on Amazon Prime, but I've never got the chance.
Well, I feel like you have a lot that you have to watch.
Yeah,
I've watched like 315, but you guys make me make me feel like I haven't seen it.
Oh no, I'm saying for next week you have a lot.
Oh,
by next week, yeah.
Yeah, I have Berserk and what's it called? Beastars. Yeah, Beastars.
Yeah, that's like 2 animes for you to watch. You could definitely finish those in a week. Yeah. That's only maybe 20 episodes.
Well, Berserk I think is 26.
I got to turn into my preteen version.
Yeah, you're gonna have to weeb out 3 a.m. binge sessions.
Not done that in a while, man.
I know I haven't either. I actually had to for Clannad because I ran out of days. Like I was watching BNA, but I kind of spread it out over a couple of days.
I did too.
And then I was like, oh shit, I gotta watch Clannad still. So I watched all of them in like a night and a morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's hard to binge now, man. It's hard.
It is. I feel like ever since I started doing YouTube, it's like I always used to
more like a job than it does for fun.
Yeah, it's like I'll just binge this because I really like it. Now it's like, oh my god, I'm missing all these new episodes that are coming out because I'm watching all these new series.
All right, man. So I feel like we've got a good amount of content today. How do you guys feel?
I believe so. How long have we been doing this for?
I think it's been like 50 minutes. So
55 around there. I think we're about to hit an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's been
solid.
A good amount of time. Yeah.
Definitely.
And two of us, me and Connor got new mics, man. I see the gold mic.
Oh yeah. Everything. Yeah. I had the other mic that was, but like this one's like an actual condenser mic, so it's just a lot more crisp.
This thing is huge, man.
Oh yeah, is that one of the Blue Yetis? Yeah.
Yeah, I love this mic.
I'm still using this one. I kind of want to get a new one, but
what is that?
It's
USB
newer,
mic, or is it?
I have it connected to this. I can't bring this box. Or can I?
Mm-hmm.
That's probably too much shit connected.
You have an interface?
It's a V-ringer.
Like something like this?
Yeah.
If you have one of those, you can literally get like this mic itself is like $80, but it's like it works. I mean, it sounds pretty good. I think if you have an interface, yeah.
Yeah, no, it sounds better with my microphone.
My mic just plugs into my laptop.
Yeah, the USB, like that one you have. If you don't have an interface like I just showed you, those USB Blue Yeti mics are perfect.
Yeah.
Because that like has all the whole interface and everything just built into it. So you just plug it right into the computer. Like this one, I technically with this mic, if you don't have like an interface that has a built-in power supply, like I wouldn't be able to use this mic because it doesn't have any power system in it. So, you know.
All right. So who wants to end off the video, the podcast?
I guess I'll end it.
Host Eric today.
The host.
I started it, so I might as well end it. So this is just some weebs, and I think we all had a fun time here today talking about anime, furry animes, talking about life, coronavirus, school, work, etc. I think it's been a good time today. And Nat, any closing statements you guys want to make?
I just got some good shows to watch for next week and episode 4.
I mean, if you guys,
whoever's viewing this podcast, man, if you guys want to watch the anime that we're watching this week too, you guys can join us.
That'd be nice.
Have some fun watching anime. Have some fun with us weebs. You know, we are just some weebs, man. We are just
some weebs.
Good way to put it.
All right, guys. Until next week.
Till next week. See ya.